These poems are dedicated to all those whose lives have been spent in bringing peace to this planet. Wherever you are, I bow my head. May peace be on this earth. We are all united with the thread of love. May each one of us realize the garland of life.
Many moons ago, I read in a magazine something which I haven't forgotten. The magazine was interviewing a scientist. They were talking about the expansion and contraction of the universe. The interviewer said, "So, it's just like breathing?" The scientist said, "Absolutely." As you can see, I never forgot this. This is around 1972. I have been fascinated by the power of breath most of my life. Before I started to learn how to meditate, I knew there was an incredible experience inside. I knew there was a power behind my breath keeping me alive. Yet I didn't know how to sync with it. It was a total mystery. Most of us just breathe unconsciously. We never think about it or pay attention to it. Unfortunately, we don't experience the direct source inside of us. Whenever I tell people that the most simple technique in meditation is the following: just watch your breath go up and down. Follow your breath. At this point in time, you can see their eyes roll up. Yeah, don't feed me that crap. That's too simple. Yet, it is simple. The truth is so simple and obvious that we overlook it. We expect some complicated technique or only a powerful guru can give it to you. Yet, the truth is simple. The Buddhists have a doctrine called crystal clear. This book was introduced to the West only decades ago. They released this secret doctrine because they knew, unfortunately, Westerners wouldn't believe it. It was all about the breath. Why is it in the East they have studied the breath for thousands of years? They have mapped out the various stages of enlightenment through the breath. Yet in the West, we just roll our eyes. Doesn't that make you ponder for a moment? Have you ever stopped for a moment and pondered what is keeping you alive? Imagine when you are born and you take your first breath, you become alive. Now imagine when you take your last breath, you die. What exactly left your body? Your body is dead. Some incredible life force left your body. Now imagine that day by day, you focus on your breath. In the beginning, it takes time and effort. You meditate on the source. Over time, you begin to realize that the source meditates on you. What once took hours to connect to, now, when you close your eyes, that experience is there. Words cannot describe this experience. Christ said, "The kingdom of heaven lies within." Only you can take this advice. Only you can solve this mystery. The entire universe exists inside of you. You just don't know it. We all have probably experienced broken promises in our lives. Our dad promised to come to your baseball game. A man promises to get married and never shows up at the altar. A country promises to stop fighting and still continues. A politician promises on his campaign and yet when elected, soon forgets about it. Broken promises happen every day on earth. Dreams and hopes are dashed. Yet God never breaks a promise. God is always supporting you. Yes, He's on the sidelines. He can't play the game for you. That's why there are a coach and the game being played. Have you ever pondered why broken promises were made? I believe it's a lack of awareness. I believe that we really don't think about what we're going to say. I hate to say this, yet our current president speaks from the cup. It is quite shallow. Imagine there's a deep ocean of thought. His thought is barely skimming the surface. You see, in order to be wise, you must combine compassion and the power of thoughts. The more compassion the deeper you can dive. This is the law of the universe. The universe is kind and compassionate. It doesn't know broken promises. This is why the great masters were wise. They spent their lives diving deep within their soul. They mined the diamond within. They understood in order to be truly wise, they had to pull the weeds within. We all have to do this. Broken promises stem from a lack of awareness of life. They stem from living life yet not being aware of the source of life. It's our life. It's like our life is on the remote control. We never stop and ponder the true meaning of life. This is how the world gets caught in a rut. We are playing the same song over and over. History keeps on playing the same song. As humanity, we can change to a new channel. We can play the song of kindness and compassion. Many people say, how sweet. They say this as if kindness and compassion are weak. Yet the foundation of the universe is kindness and compassion. Weakness is broken promises and anger. Many people think that water has no power. Well, just ask a surfer riding a 50-foot wave. Nature is powerful, but doesn't boast about it. For some reason, due to insecurity, man likes to boast. Just witness the latest political election. They were boasting about all sorts of things. I really think that the politicians should be wise like King Solomon. We need wise politicians, not career politicians. We truly need politicians who truly care for the people. Maybe politicians are a reflection of the people. The more conscious we become, they will have to step up to the plate. If they don't, they won't get elected the next time around. Broken promises can be eliminated from this land. Dive deep within and discover your true nature. You are the universe, and you just don't know it. The world may seem that it's going down the tubes, yet don't give up the ship. What if I told you a few years back the computer got rebooted? We were playing the same song of darkness for so long. The needle of life was stuck in one place. For thousands of years, wars, brought on this land. Have you ever heard the word recalibration? When I first worked for the observatory in Maui, I first heard this word. It meant that after an instrument was in use for a certain period of time, it had to be reset. This reset made the instrument more precise. When you are tracking satellites, all your instruments must be properly working. Well, the world needed a reboot. It's kind of funny that all the ancients said the same thing. They talked about a beginning of a golden age. The world was going to begin to transform if we reached a certain marker, a certain year. Many people thought that Armageddon was going to happen. The world was going to be destroyed. Even Nostradamus said that. Did you know that when you have light, darkness disappears? Imagine the sun is rising. It is dawn. Look at the glorious sunrise. Look at all the incredible colors. Feel the love from the sun. We look at this world with tainted glasses. Our news only projects the negative. The news hardly projects what's good in this world. Yet mankind is waking up from the slumber. This is a great time to be alive. And each and every day, mankind is being a kind man. There are millions of people who are discovering the jewel inside. Their light is shining brightly upon this world. It doesn't matter your race, your creed, or religion. Everyone in this world sleeps at night, and everyone wakes up. We are waking up from our slumber of darkness. This is a grand time. Someday we will mark this era where man truly wakes up. Do you see how technology can truly help unite this world? This world is being united by a web of love. Wisdom can be transformed in seconds anywhere in the world. Kindness, compassion, tolerance. The two ex-presidents from different parties talked about this. Sometimes it takes wild cards to wake people up. Our political situation is a perfect example of this. So much discord, yet the whole world sees it. People are beginning to see that they have a piece of the puzzle. The world is slowly putting the pieces together. We all want the same thing. We want harmony. We want love. We want food on the tables for all. We want to have a healthy drinking water for each individual. Education is a birthright. Same goes for medical care. Mankind is beginning to stand up for decent rights for all. A new compassionate man is being born. Yes, it will take time. An apple doesn't become an apple overnight. It begins as a seed. Yet as a seed, this apple knows its potential. Don't give up the ship. The dawning of man is just starting. You can't let life get you down. Life may throw you curveballs, yet with practice, you may hit the ball out of the park. My best advice in life is first to discover the key to life. All the great masters have said the same thing. The kingdom of heaven exists inside of you. This is where the great mystery begins. This is where you developed a strong foundation to live on. Going inside of yourself helps you to remain firm on earth. It's probably one of the best ways to be practical while on earth. It's the difference between being in the center of the hurricane or experiencing the horrific winds. You have a choice. I'm not saying this life is a walk in the park. At times it is. At times it's extremely challenging. At the time we may feel I can't handle this situation. Yet somehow you survived it. By going inside over time, you realize you are never alone. God and the universe support you. Even in that place, some pleasant situations will come your way. Don't ask me why. That's still a great mystery. It seems to me that life is full of constant change. Nothing stays the same. The same mindset we have must constantly evolve. We grow with each change that comes our way. Life is not stagnant like a standing pond that has algae. Life is a river flowing to the ocean. Do you remember? Even the great masters had their fair share of challenges. They put Christ on the cross. Nobody gets a free ride. Everyone gets challenged in their life. We must learn this basic fact. You are not being judged. You did nothing wrong. You are not unworthy. This is what goes through our minds. The universe is not punishing you. The universe is not testing you. The universe is not saying, let's see what happens when this situation comes your way. The universe is kind. The universe is compassionate. The universe is tolerant. Maybe we should become these traits. Maybe this is what the universe is saying to us. You are the universe. You just don't know it. It's like being on a ship during a huge storm. The ship is rocking fiercely. Yet deep down in the ocean, there's absolute calm. Maybe we should learn how to dissolve into the ocean of life. Remember, you can't let life get you down. I love building castles in the sand. I remember building them when the tide was low. It was so much fun. We had our buckets of water and sand. We were never very good like what they do today, yet we had our sand castles. They were our creations. It was always amusing when the tide came in. There was nothing you could do. The rising tide simply dissolved the castles. It didn't matter how grand or simple the castles were. The rising tide did not discriminate. The tides always came in, and the tides always returned. Doesn't that kind of represent the tides of life? We come into this world, we live and build our own statues. Somehow, the tide comes in and washes us away. I'm not trying to scare you. This is just the facts of life. Like there's 4 seasons, everything changes. Nothing is permanent. everything changes. There's a beauty behind it. All the great masters have taught that life seems to be permanent, yet it isn't. This life on earth is so short. It's only a blink in time. I remember when I was young, my illusion of time was that time was slow. Summers lasted forever. Now at 64, summers just fly by. The years just fly by. At times I look back and say, what happened? Where did time go? This life is so precious. Yet the great masters have said, hold on to the jewel within. Go inside and discover your true nature. Your true essence is timeless. You were never created, nor will you ever be destroyed. Life is eternal. I remember when I was a kid, I was told that once you die, you no longer existed. You vanished into thin air, never to be seen again. I really didn't like that theory. That was gold to me. I love the idea that there's an ocean of love and we merge into the universe. I love the idea that we are the universe. We just don't know it. That at the time of death, we go back to the source. God does not judge us. God does not condemn us. I like this kind of thinking. In my experience, these words are true. God is our partner. He has never left our side. This is one reason why these poems are created. Hopefully, it will entice you to discover your true nature. What an incredible journey we are on, building sandcastles in the sand. Come and join me, build sandcastles among the stars. I love cats. Many moons ago, my brother and I had a cat called Quincy. Now Quincy and my brother really bonded. Quincy had absolute faith in my twin brother. That's unusual for a cat. Cats have a mind of their own. They're there, but at the same time, they're not there. Cats have a state of mind that is difficult to explain. If you own a cat, you would know what I'm talking about. Anyway, along with the story. Quincy loved to climb the roof at our house. She loved the freedom of being the only cat in the block who dared to be up there. My brother loved this cat. He would tell Quincy to jump into his arms while she was on the roof. What a sight to see. Quincy would jump free as a bird and land into my brother's arms. She would never do this for me. She was my brother's cat. Many moons later, I still remember this precious story. My wife and I had a cat named Precious. Now she never jumped off the roof, but she loved to take walks with us. We would just begin our walk, and Precious would appear. My wife Barbara would ask, would you like to take a walk with us? Precious would slowly lead the way. Now, cats don't walk like us. They meander along the way. She would walk from one side of the street to a neighbor's yard, to the other side of the street to the neighbor's yard. She had her own style of taking a walk, yet she took a walk with us. I'm sure all the cat lovers have their special stories to tell. Cats love to be petted. I love the sound of their purring. It's the sound that nurtures the soul. Cats love to brush up against you and walk one way and back the other way. They have a special rhythm to it. It's like a walking meditation for them. Cats have been adored and honored for thousands of years. The Egyptians honored their cats. They knew that cats are special. If you never owned a cat, you are missing something special. My advice is to get a kitten from a shelter. A kitten will melt anyone's heart. Your heart will melt like butter. A kitten is so precious. It's like God's gift to the world. Give a kitten a ball of string and watch what happens. The kitten will blaze with life. This is its true nature. Playfulness and full of life. At the end of the day, cats like to sit on your lap and take a nap, soaking it all in. One of God's creatures is settling in. True confidence stems from the heart. When you combine the mind and heart together, true confidence arises. It's like the cream rising to the top in a good old bottle of milk. Confidence cannot be faked. People can smell fakeness. People know when a smile is not genuine. Personally, I think all the great masters were confident. They really didn't have anything to prove. They weren't trying to convince you or convert you. They were humble in their ways. A wise man simply smiles. He will not shout at you or get angry when you have a different point of view. His confidence is just like water. It is flowing downstream. Now you may say water isn't powerful. Well, just ask the server riding a 50-foot wave. When your life is based upon discovering the truth, you develop confidence. When you begun to tame your mind, you develop confidence. Confidence can be cultivated. Plant a seed in your heart, pull the inner weeds, water the soil. Over time, the seed will grow. A confident man must be kind. If you are confident and aren't kind, I don't call that confidence. That's a negative ego, out of control. I will not name the person, but we know one today who is like that. He pretends to be confident, but unfortunately he has lost his way. Humility is a great sign of confidence. When you understand that the universe is your partner, you gain confidence. You have no special privileges. You are no better or worse than anyone. All are the same in the eyes of God. When you see the oneness of all, your heart changes. A person in this state is truly concerned about his fellow man. He understands the miracle of life and the opportunity of helping man along the way. There are many different ways to serve. The confident man pursues the way that presents itself to him. Life may throw a curveball, but a confident man will see, been there, done that. He may not like the obstacle, but he is confident there's a solution. Does that make sense to you? What I'm trying to say, the deeper you understand life, the more confident you will be. True confidence comes from inside of you. There's a well within that is flowing with confidence. Ponder this over. Maybe this spiritual thing might be more practical than you realize. I'm cooking up a storm. Have you been in that mood? At times, my wife is amazed. We have a few ingredients that need to be used up. This is where creativity comes in. The mind stews and ponders. Just like the cream rises to the top from the milk, a great idea comes up. Yummy. My wife constantly is amused. Isn't it amazing in all facets of life we tap into something so grand and we take it for granted? Imagine the Wright brothers first taking flight. Only a week later, some other team did the same thing in Europe. Is there an unconscious field of human thought? Are we united in that field and not aware of it? Maybe we are united after all. Grid. Maybe we should ponder this over. We have our thoughts we seem to be our own, yet are they? Do we tap into universal thought fragments and call them our own? We think we tame our mind, yet without meditation, the mind tames you. The mind wags its tail when you look externally for happiness. The mind gets angry when you try to look within. As I said before, meditation is dog school for the mind. Meditation helps to tame the mind. Meditation helps to cure the mosquito itch of the mind. There's always a mosquito bite wherever you are so off. You can't quite pinpoint it. It walks with you day by day. Meditation helps cure it. I remember when I first started to meditate, my stomach would always have this certain nervousness to it. Over time, meditation helped alleviate it. When your mind is calm, your body will reflect that calmness. It seems to me this is a practical path. It helps heals the mind, body, and soul. It helps a person to think clearly and from our hearts, not ego. Our ego is our friend. Our mind is our friend. We just need to be in balance. I'm cooking up a storm. What can I cook next? We are all cosmic travelers. Unfortunately, we have forgotten our true identity. You are the universe. You just don't know it. You came from the stars. You are stardust. You were never born, and you will never die. You are eternal. I bet you never heard this in Sunday school. You are not a sinner. God does not judge you. Man judges. Man tries to tell you your religion is no good. God accepts all religions. Even if you don't believe in God, God loves you. This is the nature of the universe. The universe does not judge. We throw human emotions to God. We say that God is a wrathful God. We say that God is an angry God. These are negative human emotions thrown to God. God is a love so pure that nothing can taint it. The creative force knows only love. No negativity exists there. There are no wars in heaven. There are no fallen angels. Well, maybe you can put man in that category. We come down to earth to discover our true nature. When our body dies, we go back to God. We are not born sinners. God does not judge us. Yet we should learn from our mistakes. This is our goal in life, gaining wisdom from your mistakes. We will never stop learning and growing. You have been around forever. Don't get stuck in the same record groove where you do the same thing over and over again. Maybe the spiritual path is so practical that we can't see the use of it. Imagine seeing this world through a peephole. You can see the world, but your sight is limited. Your way of thinking is limited. Now imagine walking through the door and out into this world. At first you would be blinded by the light. Over time, your eyes would adjust, and you would then see the world more clearly. All the great masters have talked about this in their own ways. Spirituality is living a practical life. The Buddhists say, chop wood, carry water. This would change if we lived up to this responsibility. We all have a piece of the puzzle. Discover your piece and put it on the game of life. We are cosmic travelers. This is a crazy world. Just think that all the chaos in the world stems from the mind. The world is a reflection of our minds. Can you see how off balance we are? The great masters have said that conquering your mind is the hardest thing to do in the universe. The world needs harmony. At times, it seems like we are drunk drivers, swerving on the road, yet we think we are driving perfectly normal. The mind is like a dog. It wags its tail when you only look outside of yourself. But the moment you start looking inward, it gets angry. This is why we need the dog school for the mind. Our mind needs to be trained. The reason why this world is crazy is that we are not aware of the jewel inside. We have forgotten our true nature. Today, we have a president who constantly changes his position, one who tweets at 3 o'clock in the morning. Whatever happened to the idea that you should reflect on before speaking. Speaking from the cuff is shallow. Shallow thinking is what creates the craziness in this world. When your mind is off balance, your life. When your mind is off, balancing your life will be off. The crazy world stems from the fact we are off balance. We only look outward, but not inward. It's so simple, yet you never learn this in school. There are millions of people waking up from their slumber. They are taking responsibility for their piece of the puzzle. The world changes when you change. You are a piece of the solution. You're kidding, aren't you? No, I'm not. Peace on earth begins with you, nobody else. You can't blame your neighbor. The jewel exists inside of you. Does that make you happy or sad? Oh my God, I have to pick up the shovel to dig up the diamond. Yes, but for the effort, what do you get? You discover your true essence. You have no idea of how incredible that is. You are the universe. You just don't know it. Have you ever watched the rain? At times it looks like crystals falling from the sky. Water is the essence of life. Without water, this life would be barren. No life would exist. Look at the planet Mars. At one time there was water. Today, the planet is barren. Water is more precious than gold. And in fact, water is liquid gold. I have friends who don't like to drink water. They would rather have a soda. They are still young. I feel sad. What will happen to their bodies when they get older? Did you know that karma is simply doing actions, good or bad? After a period of time, you reap what you sow. I keep on saying that a spiritual path is the most practical path. You must balance the mind, body, and soul. Drinking pure water is the essence of health. If you crave soda, something is amiss. Something is wrong. Your life is out of balance. You are slowly killing yourself. You say, well, I'm going to die anyway. Yet, don't you want to be healthy when you're older? Don't you want a long and healthy life? A spiritual person sees that this is the only body you get. You might as well take good care of it. Your human body is more precious than any temple built for God. A spiritual person learns about living a healthy lifestyle. Did you know that water has a conscience? Water is aware. There was a famous Japanese doctor named Masaru Emoto. He discovered that water has crystal patterns. He discovered that your emotions create crystal patterns in the molecular structure of water. Kindness, love, and compassion created beautiful patterns. All the negative emotions created discord in the molecular structure of water. Isn't it amazing that there is a direct connection between our emotions and our human body? A person who is angry is creating discord in the human body. No wonder people who meditate seem happy, because the mind, body, and soul are happy. Personally, I think we should take responsibility for our own health. We rely too much on the pharmaceutical industry to help us get well. They're after our profit. Did you know that in order to be classified as a drug, it must have side effects? Have you truly listened to the drug commercials on TV? This drug's side effects can cause a heart attack or even death. Said in a lovely, soft voice. Isn't that wonderful? I can take this drug and there might be a chance. This drug could kill me. I'm not here to scare you. I would like for you to ponder over this message. Take a look at your lifestyle. Change what you can change. You have a precious human body. Take more care of it than your car. You change the tires, get tune-ups, and so much more for your automobile. Take the same care day in and day out for your human body. Precious crystal rain is falling from the sky. This is a day of grace. I'm grateful to be alive. Wow, another day on this precious earth. What kind of mischief can I get in? What adventure can I go on today? I hope it's raining. I want to jump in the water puddle. I want to create sandcastles and watch them disappear. A surfer would say, I hope there are good waves today. And furthermore, I hope it's not crowded. A snowboarder might say, wow, it snowed last night. We are all grateful in our own ways. Life gives each one of us precious opportunities. The shower of grace is raining all over us. I hope that curiosity about life is still with you as you get older. Curiosity in life will keep you young at heart. Don't get stiff as a board with your outlook on life. Be flexible. Be like the wind. Flow in all directions. Don't become a stagnant pond. Be like a river flowing downstream. If you tap into grace, you always will see the beauty in life. You will always see life as an adventure. You will never truly know what will happen to you in this life. You may have predictions, but life always will surprise you. Life is not boring. Life is constantly in change. Our life at times may seem boring. We just have a boring mind. You can change that. Boredom is a state of mind. A person who is born hasn't begun to find the fuel inside. But when it begins to tap into the source of life, you can never get bored. Inside of you is true excitement. Inside of you lies the vast universe. Inside of you lies the kingdom of heaven. How come boredom exists? Your mind is bored because it's tired of the same old thing. I have to get up either to go to school, work, or take care of the household. When I'm on vacation, I spend time by the pool with a cocktail in my hand. Did you know you can get bored in paradise? You can even get bored in heaven. Boredom is a state of mind. Boredom and grace don't mix with one another. It's like darkness and light. Darkness is the absence of light. Turn on the light switch and darkness disappears. It's as simple as that. Turn on grace in your life and boredom will disappear. How about that? You can change your own destiny. Only you can make yourself happy. Is the glass half empty or half full? Your attitude towards life drives the quality of your life. Did you know that? Nobody can truly make you sad except for yourself. They may provide circumstances to you to get sad or angry, yet only you can accept the gift. If someone is making you angry, don't accept it. It's not yours, it's theirs. You don't need more trash in your house. You are trying to get rid of yours. Ponder over this. Does this make sense? Maybe there is a different point of view. Maybe you can change this broken record where people either make you happy or sad. You can learn how not to get into and accept the negativity of others. You can learn how. Discover the grace inside of you. Your life will change forever.